Hello and welcome to the Kimbley IT podcast. I'll look back on the previous month, which will be April 2024, Carl.
Indeed.
Quite a good month. There was one main event that took place, and that was Google Next 24, which is Google's big developer conference based over in Las Vegas. Of course, we didn't pay to fly out there because it's expensive, and they stream all the stuff on YouTube anyway. So why fly out when we can watch it on YouTube?
There's only one reason to go to Las Vegas, and you're not interested in that half of it. By that, I mean going out on the party and the booze. That's why they all go.
That's true. It's the first time they've held it in Las Vegas as well.
So that's where everyone holds it, isn't it? So they can all go big party style.
They did say it was going to be a big event. But the big event that did actually happen at Next for Google Workspace fans like ourselves was Google Vids was announced, which is a new product for Google Workspace, which allows you to use AI to create videos without the need of being an expert at filming or editing, because it's you essentially put a prompt in, tell it what you want the video to be about, and at the moment it will use stock footage, that it has a big archive of stock footage. At some point it will start generating its own footage and images and things like that, and it will create a template of a video for you, which you can then remix and edit how you want to get your message across.
Yeah, I like the look of that a lot. Type in a prompt, it makes a video. Really going to be good for short form little videos. I reckon health and safety, things you shouldn't do in your workplace, easier to give to employees than some boring document.
Yeah, your general like how-to videos will be really useful at the start. We don't know where it's going to go. It might get really advanced later on, but initially it sounds like that's the ideal way to disseminate information for those type of things.
But the worst it's ever going to be.
So moving on to other news, we were having chats with a renewable energy company who are already on Google Workspace, but they're looking for support for Google Workspace ongoing, because they know at some point they're not going to be able to manage it themselves, and they want to make sure that they've got all the security settings and everything in place that they should have, because they're in a sort of regulated industry, and there's thousands of settings inside Google Workspace. Therefore, they are wanting to have a chat about it and see if we can partner with them and help them out. It's always nice when you get businesses like that, because quite a lot of the businesses that contact us, Carl, they're already struggling with their IT and they need to help. And these guys are forward thinking further down the road where they want to be and what they need to have in place to get there.
Yeah, it was good that they built the business to a level. Now they said, like, we don't want to scale it up. Let's get the IT in now, which is nice to hear. It's refreshing.
And then finally, last month you went over to see a vendor. Their vendor had an event going on. Was it in Birmingham, I think?
It was. Enable had an event in Birmingham where they take us through the latest aspects of one of the products that we use. It was a little bit dull, to be honest. Not enough people turned up, which was disappointing from the other companies who'd booked, because they were all there on the board to be picking up their tickets, but none of them had come. I met a couple of people I knew. The event was a little bit dull in the way it was pitched and stuff, a bit too techy, and nothing really pitched at the audience. It was talking about companies with thousands of endpoints, and there was no one in that room with a customer with thousands and thousands of endpoints. However, at the end of the day, it got better afterwards when you have the drinks at the end of the day, and then Lee Robinson, my mate, turned up, who runs another IT company. We went out for a couple of drinks and stuff, and actually, one of the guys who was there whose pitch was pretty boring. When I chatted to him, Canadian guy, he was a really interesting bloke, and a really nice guy, and he took on the feedback that he needed to make his presentation a little bit more interesting. So it was all right. Then
they also like inadequate tech there, like when you're saying something like the presentations were in 1020 by something, whatever it was.
Yeah, that was kind of their fault and not. It was the location down in Digbeth where they were at, and they had got a really old school projector right up above, which could only do 1024 768 resolution. God knows how long that had been up there, and it had a wire off it, so it'd been a long time. However, they should have checked that with the venue first as to what kind of projector that they got. And I did say to them, I said, you want to check this stuff in advance, because you couldn't demonstrate the products because there were bars everywhere, slide bars. It just looked terrible.
Yeah. Oh, well, hopefully they learn for next time, and maybe one day I'll get an invite, because they didn't bother inviting me, even though technically I've been with them for over a decade now.
Yes. Well, you didn't miss anything this time, let's say that.
I wouldn't have gone anyway, most likely.
You didn't miss anything in the best bit at the end, which I like, you don't like, so it worked out anyway.
Moving on to the content that we stuck out there. So only one new video went out last month, and that was how to record yourself in a Google Slide presentation. And that came about because a customer was asking us about how they insert themselves into Google Slides, because they were using Loom to do it with, and then essentially downloading the video from Loom and then embedding it into the slide and all that kind of stuff. And they weren't aware that you'd actually have to do that in Google Slides. Google Slides has a built-in functionality. So you go into Google Slides, and in the top right-hand corner, there's actually a little record icon just near the share button. If you click that record icon, it will then open your presentation in presentation view, but you'll also get a box that appears where you can select your microphone and camera and all that and move where you want your camera to be on the screen and start your recording. Really good. I say the only one downside with it is that if you stumble or anything like that, you can't essentially you can carry on and then edit it afterwards, but you'd have to download the video and have editing software to be able to do that. And if you start again, it wipes what you've previously recorded, so you've got to start from one. So if you can do it in one take, ideal. If you're going to stumble and stuff like that, you might want some editing software just to be able to edit the video afterwards to the way you want it. Based on that, we had 3 new blog posts go live on the website. One was about how to use that feature in Google Slides. The other one was actually about introducing Google Vids, and we just go into a bit more detail about what's in Google Vids, and there's some videos there on that blog post showing you what you can do in Google Vids. So if you want to have a look at Google Vids and see what you can do, go and check out that blog post on our website. And then finally, I did a blog post on how to securely access a Google Doc file, because a Google Drive file, because we still have people who have this weirdness where they think if they sign up for a free Google account, Google's going to take over everything. It's going to take over their emails, all that kind of stuff. But it's really odd, and I still don't understand the logic, because if you're signing up for any web service, let's say Zoom, you're signing up for Zoom, what do you give them? An email, your email address and password. If you're signing up for anything, you give them the email address and password. But when you do that with Google, everyone thinks, oh, I can't do that because Google's going to take over everything and have my emails and all that kind of stuff. And this video is like, well, actually, it doesn't do that. And here's how you can securely share a Google Drive file. And when you share it with somebody, how they receive a token to access the file and things like that. So it goes into the details about that, because our clients like sharing stuff that way, but they do have problems with people who are outside of Google or in the Google ecosystem. We think that they're going to lose it. Google can take over everything when they try and share it. So that blog post is there to explain how it works. And we know that a couple of clients do share a previous version of that blog post out, but I kind of cut it down to the bare essentials, the bare basics on this one, to make it as simple as possible for someone to follow and actually do what they need to do. And then finally, we're just going on to our assistance and support statistics. So 99 people contacted us last month. 85 wanted requesting assistance, wanting to know how to do something better. And 14 were asking for support. One of those who send a message for those who sent messages for assistance, how to do something better, 70 of them received their reply and were back to work within 5 minutes. 15 received and completed interaction within 5 to 30 minutes. Out of the subscribers wanting support where something's not working as they should, 8 received a completed interaction and returned to their work within 5 minutes. 4 received a complete interaction and returned to their work within 30 minutes. 1 request was more nuanced and took between 30 minutes and an hour. And the final request was actually a problem with Google Workspace admin panel, which took a couple of days for the Google engineering to rectify it. It didn't stop the person from doing their work. It just stopped us from making a change on the admin panel until it was rectified. In fact, I think with that one, Google Workspace went into the back end, the engineering team, and actually made the change for us, because they knew it was going to take a bit longer before the interface that we could see would start working again. Out of those 99, 93 of them got in contact with us through our unique instant messaging service, which is always the quickest way to get in contact, and 6 emailed. And then the stats also show that out of all those that got in contact, those 99 people, 12 wouldn't have needed to if they'd had regular training on IT.
Yes.
So that's it. That's the wrap up for April. I think that's everything covered. So we'll be back in a month's time to talk about this month and what we've been up to. And, I don't think we've done anything interesting so far, but we're only 3 days into May.
Yes, that's right.
So something might happen.
Yes, indeed.
Anyway, thanks for listening, and we'll speak to you again next month.
See you later. Bye.